Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakabodash. Double honor to the elder apostles, the bishops, and the elders of GMS rule as well. Peace and citation to elect. My name is Ainal. The title of this video is over 500,000 displaced Palestinians return to northern Gaza. Trap is set. And basically, we just grab this scripture right here. It says, Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 10, it says, never trust thine enemy. Turn this off. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Now let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts? So one that goeth to a sinner and defile with him in his sins, who will pity? It says, for a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first, and though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. He shall shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. So, these Palestinians are not very, smart about what's going on over there in the Gaza Strip and the plans to rebuild it, the plans that the new president, Donald Trump, is trying to, relocate them, plans on rebuilding it to make it better and things like that. And they're all just going back, right? They're not looking at the last ceasefire that happened and then they attacked Syria, right? They're not looking at, they're getting more iron domes, they're preparing, and ultimately, what's to come is just basically them being destroyed, right? So this dude, Benjamin Netanyahu, has been committing, the G word, whatever, over there. And why do you think he's going to stop? This is why the scriptures say, 16, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood, right? And the scriptures say, I just had grabbed that, I believe it was Psalms 22. Let me see. Let me see. Let me find the scripture. It's Psalm 55 and 21. Psalm 65 and 21, the words of his mouth. Psalm 55 and 20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. And we don't get the articles. Basically, the Palestinians are going over there to, I don't know what they're doing. They're going back over there to rebuild or something, but basically they're going to be destroyed, by the same people that's been destroying them, the Israelis. So let me grab this. So this CNN, it says Palestinians finally returning to devastated northern Gaza after ceasefire dispute delayed. I've been seeing articles too. They're talking about they're finding bodies up under the rubble. I mean, of course you are. What do you expect?
File free in the app if you didn't use us last year. Just file with TurboTax Do-It-Yourself by February 18th. All tax forms and situations. Get the TurboTax app now.
Striking drone footage shows the return of tens of thousands of displaced Palestinians to northern Gaza. The mass return comes more than 1 year after Israel instructed over 1 million Palestinians to evacuate to southern Gaza. amid plans to bombard the north following Hamas's October 7th attack.
انا شعوري متت وهلقيت بالدحيه ما كناش ننام ما كناش نقعد فيش قعود فيش واحد مش متريح فيش حياه فيش حياه فيش بعد واحد بدي اقعد في الركام بدي اقعد في الركام واتريح.
Israel delayed opening a corridor to the north for 48 hours, accusing Hamas of breaching the ceasefire agreement over the release of hostage Arbel Yahoud. According to the UN, almost 70% of structures in Gaza have been destroyed since the start of the war.
Yeah, so, it says tens of thousands of displaced Palestinians began returning home to northern Gaza on Monday, bracing for what awaits them in a region that has been reduced to rubble by months of brutal bombardment and fighting. They're going to be there doing nothing, how they're going to rebuild, that's what we're going to do too. Where are they going to get aid from? So Israel, this why the title is it's a trap set, because not only they're coming back and they're preparing for war and buying more missiles and things like that, but also the people that were there, they're helping them. They are making a law that they can't be there anymore. And Trump, it was money sent to Gaza Strip, and then Trump says it was $50 million that they're trying to cut back. That's his old peace and safety thing. There was $50 million or something like that being sent to Gaza to help them, but he's taking the money away now because he's saying they bought condoms with the money and they used the condoms to make bombs or something. So it's a trap, and ultimately the least of the flock is going to draw them out. We'll grab that real quick. What is this, Psalm 55? What is it, 50? It says, Jeremiah 15:45, therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh that he hath taken against Babylon and his purposes, that he hath proposed against the land of Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Right? Least of the flock is talking about Israel, right? And however they draw them out, wherever the case may be, they will be drawn out, right? Israel has America in their pocket. And you can see Trump's cabinet is all Israelis, right? So Trump is all about America, but his whole cabinet is pro-Israel, so basically, they're one and the same. They're helping each other. And Israel is definitely going to war. They're preparing for war. So anyway, going back over here. Israel opened a corridor in the north of the Gaza Strip on Monday, 48 hours later than initially planned. It blamed the delay on Hamas, and they're saying Hamas is not destroyed. They're saying now that Hamas is still actively there. So if they do attack, they already have a reason to attack. When they do attack, it says saying the militant group breached the terms of the ceasefire agreement that guaranteed people would be able to return to north. So, kind of like what's happening right now in America. Oh, we got to get all the migrants out because, there's criminals and things like that. So now they're letting all these people back to the Gaza Strip. They're going to do what they did before. Oh, where Hamas is in the midst of these rebels that, we can clearly see everything. They're all outside, but they're there, and then, basically get destroyed. That's the point. It's blowing the trumpet. This could be the thing that, initiates something big happening over there if Israel does attack these people that are now coming back. So anyway, it says, so that's that one point. It says we will suffocate. Palestinian refugees in Gaza fear UNRWA ban. So this is a trap. So there's a so-called peace deal. The Palestinians return to Gaza. Israel gets rid of the UNRWA and buys missiles and things that's soon to be sent over there. It says UNRWA, United Nations Relief and Work Agency for Palestinian refugees in the Near East in a UN agency. So Israel has blocked these individuals from we'll read it. It says Israel's new ban on the UN agency leaves many in Gaza worried about who will help them. Now, no one's helping, right? Trump is not sending money. We'll see. I just seen something on news. Let's see what he's talking about. It's live reported just now. I was doing my last video. Trump. Hamas. Let's see. Literally, it was like 2 seconds ago. Let me see. See, I was just talking about this. It says Trump press secretary tears into Biden for funding 50 million worth of condoms in Gaza. And then Trump said they use them for making bombs, whatever the case may be. All right, so I just seen something where Trump was talking about uh Hamas. All right, all this is probably fake news. Anyway, I can't find it. Not a big deal. We'll find it, eventually and bring it out. So another brother find it, whatever the case may be. Says with the United Nations Agency for Palestinian Refugees ordered to cease operations in Israel and occupied territory on Thursday. Now, this was posted January 29th, 2025. That's today. So they're supposed to stop coming up Thursday. Many Palestinians dread the implications on their lives and future. Yeah, bro, it's a whole trap. It says for the duration of Israel's 15-month war on Gaza, which has uprooted most of its population and reduced most of the enclave to rubble, UNRWA was a critical lifeline of support for the 2.3 million stranded Palestinians, even as humanitarian supplies dwindled. Besides UNRWA's critical humanitarian role, refugees who account for 71% of Gaza's population fear they will be left without a link to their family original home. There's no home. There's nothing there. It's all rubble. Who's rebuilding that? It says, or a right to ever return to the land that was once historic Palestine and now is Israel. It says since its creation in 1948 to serve and handle the hundreds of thousands of Palestinians forcibly displaced by Israel's creation a year earlier, UNRWA has symbolized the hope of refugees to return home. Yet, whatever the case may be, they're getting blocked out now. It says sitting in the front of the remnants of his destroyed home in Eunice, 74-year-old Abnul describes UNRWA as a lifeline across generations, one that has provided education, healthcare, and food in times of peace and war alike. So they're saying this is a lung, right? This is a vital organ in this body that we need to survive. And Israel is allowing you individuals to go back and then blocking these people. So it's a trap, and we'll have to see what happens with this. I'm expecting them to attack these individuals, probably on a big scale. And that's going to bring in, war. So let's see who we'll get right here. We'll just get this. We'll get this started from over here. We'll just start from 7, Ezekiel 38 and 7. Now, this is going to Russia basically amassing, allies here in these last days to come against Israel and, USA. And basically, we are witnessing what might be the reasons why that will happen, right? And they're upset. Iran and Russia, which is Persia, are linked together, right? And we're still waiting on the return attack from Iran, to Israel because of, the attacks that's been happening. But since Trump has took office, things have been kind of, whatever. So we're waiting to see. But like I just said, with this mass movement of all these civilians back to the land, we'll see what happens. Even now, Israel is shooting babies and things like that, in small numbers, 3 here, 2 there, whatever the case may be. It says in the NLT, Ezekiel 38 and 7, get ready, be prepared, keep all the armies around you mobilized and take command of them. A long time from now, you will be called into action. In the distant future, you will swoop down on the land of Israel which will be enjoying peace after recovering from war and after his people have returned from many lands to the mountains of Israel. And basically we're seeing that on and off, peace here and then they go to war, peace here and they go to war. So in the midst of this, it could be one of the moments where they're at peace with these different individuals and they attack these civilians, and Russia and Iran get involved, and then ultimately America gets involved, right? Because the scriptures say, at least the flock shall drag them out to war. It says, surely in Jeremiah 15:45, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out, surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. So we'll see, if that's it. Where the case be, something's going to happen over there, whether it be with these Palestinians returning back, or they do what they said they're going to do in their plans, which is attack Iran. It says, a long time from now, back Ezekiel 38:8, a long time from now, you will be called into action. So Russia will be called back into action. In the distant future, you will swoop down on the land of Israel, which will be enjoying peace after recovering from war. And as I said, they're being, back and forth from war. And after his people have returned from many lands to the mountains of Israel. Now, basically, that goes into, them being set up, the 1948ers and the different JOOs and people that are trying to come in and make them JOOs and things like that, and we're in that time now when this is about to take place, right? Because these are end time prophecies. This goes into World War III, right? And we're at the end, right? Jacob trouble is upon us, and then the MOTB shortly, and then the end. It says, you and all your allies, a vast and awesome army, will roll down on them like a storm and cover the land like a cloud. This is what the sovereign Lord Yahweh Bashmi says. At that time, evil thoughts will come into your mind and you will devise a wicked scheme. You will say Israel is an unprotected land filled with unwalled villages. I will march against her and destroy these people who live in such confidence, right? And basically, this goes into Isaiah 54:16. The Most High Yahweh Bashmi has allowed Russia to, advance in missile capabilities to outmatch everyone on the planet right now. So they have missiles that can evade, missile defense technologies or whatever the case may be. So Russia has the upper hand on attacking anyone right now. And as we are, like I said, we're at the end. The scriptures say we're at the end. The scriptures say measured out the time diligently in itself. We're measuring the things that's happening. And now we're in Jacob's trouble. The beginning stages of these. So this is how Russia, who this chapter is talking about, can say this. It says, you will say Israel is an unprotected land filled with unwalled villages. Basically the only thing they have is that Iron Dome, and that it has been defending them from like small scale missiles and things like that, not against the capabilities of Russia, right? And their missiles that they're showing, more and more every day. It says, you will say Israel is an unprotected land filled with unwalled villages. I will march against her and destroy these people who live in such confidence. I will go to those formerly desolate cities that are now filled with people who have returned from exile in many nations, right? See, I will capture vast amounts of plunder, for the people are rich with livestock and other possessions now. They think the whole world revolves around them. And that's the point. So America, Trump is like America, because they're one and the same. Basically the least of the flock, Israel, is going to draw out America to war with them. So you have Trump, the president, talking about America, then his whole staff is pro-Israel, and they want the world to revolve around them. They're talking about naming, the Gulf of Mexico, the Gulf of America, by, just taking land, Greenland, and things like that, the Panama Canal, and all of that. Right, they want the complete dominance of the world. They want to go into this new world order as the supreme rulers, and Russia is not gonna, let that happen. Basically, through the prophecies, through the Lord of Yahweh Bashmi Awashad, the will, of Yahweh Bashmi Awashad. Says, I will go to those formerly desolate cities that are now filled with people. That's because America, the fatness and richness of America has, puffed up Israel basically and protected them. I sent them money, billions of dollars and things like that. It says, I will go to those formerly desolate cities that are now filled with people who have returned from exile in many nations. I will capture vast amounts of plunder, for the people are rich with livestock and other possessions now. They think the whole world revolves around them. It says, but Sheba and Dedan and the merchants of Tarshish will ask, do you really think the armies you have gathered can rob them of silver and gold? Do you think you can drive away their livestock and seize their goods and carry off plunder? Therefore, son of man, prophesy against Gog, give him this message from the sovereign Lord Yahweh Bashmi Awashai. When my people are living in peace in the land, then will you rouse yourself, right? And this is not talking about, but there are, Israelites there, but this is talking about the current inhabitants, which is those fake JWOs. It says, you will come from your homeland in the distant north with your vast cavalry and your mighty army, and you will attack my people Israel, covering their land like a cloud. At that time, in a distant future, I will bring you against my land as everyone watches, and my holiness will be displayed by what happens to you, Gog. Then all nations will know that I am the Lord Yahweh Bashmi Awashad. So basically, that's going to eventually, that's going to lead to World War III. You're going to have Russia attack, Iran attack, China attack. You're going to have, once Russia and America gets involved, is World War III, because the allies are going to have to get involved. These are two great big armies, right? So that's pretty much the point, and like I said, it's blowing the trumpet. This could lead to that, this mass gathering back of these people back to the land after they've been attacked. So Lord willing, you were edified from the video. I'll say shalom to the elect, which consists of men, women, and children. Shalom.